"This kid will never be successful," my father would constantly say. My mother would always say, "Be like your brother." They would look down on me at family gatherings and feel embarrassed in front of others. When I left home at 20, I had said, "You'll see." What I told them 10 years later would change everything. My name is Michael, but everyone calls me Mike. I'm 30 years old today, and my story begins in my childhood. My family never saw me as good enough. My father Kevin worked as a municipal employee and had built his life on rules. My mother Sarah was a traditional housewife. Both of their biggest concerns were, what will the neighbors say? I have a brother 3 years younger than me, David. David was always the apple of the family's eye. Smart, compliant, the perfect rule-following child. I was the complete opposite, a dreamer who loved art and questioned rules. In my elementary school years, this difference became increasingly apparent. While David was coming first in math Olympics, I preferred drawing. While David was winning teachers' affection, I was labeled as troublesome. "Why can't you be like your brother, Mike?" my mother would constantly say. "Look how smart David is, how well behaved. Try to be like him." My father was harsher. "If this kid continues like this, he'll never amount to anything. His head is always in the clouds, his feet aren't on the ground." When I was in 5th grade, an incident changed everything. I had won first place in the state art competition. I had run home excitedly, wanting to show my diploma. "Dad, look. I came first in the state," I had said proudly. When my father saw the diploma, he had said, "Oh honey, an art competition. Are you going to make a living with these?" David came third nationally in the math Olympics. Now that's real success. That day my heart was broken. My mother had also supported my father. "Your father is right, son. Art and such things can be hobbies, but your real job should be different." In middle school, the situation got even worse. David had been accepted to the prestigious Riverside Academy, while I was going to a regular high school. Comparisons were constantly made at family gatherings. "Look at David, how successful he is. He's studying at Riverside Academy, always gets hundreds in math," they would boast to relatives. They never talked about my achievements. I was president of the school theater club, had won awards in poetry competitions, but none of these seemed to matter. My uncle Robert had asked one day, "Which high school is Mike going to?" My father had answered shamefully, "Regular high school." Unfortunately, he's not as successful as David. Regular high school? What a pity. It's so nice that you have a smart child like David. Such conversations were repeated at every family gathering. They acted as if I wasn't there. In my senior year of high school, as the college entrance exams approached, my family wasn't very hopeful about me. "Mike, don't push yourself too hard. A community college or something would be fine too," my mother had said. "This kid can't study anyway," my father had said. "If he starts working early, maybe he'll be useful for something." David was aiming for Northfield Engineering University, and everyone was confident he would succeed. Something unexpected happened in the college entrance exam. I got a good result and was accepted to Westside University Business Administration. David had also been accepted to Northfield, of course. During the celebration at home, all attention was on David. "David will be an engineer at Northfield. How wonderful!" My mother was rejoicing. "Mike also got into a good program," my father had said reluctantly. "But of course David's is more prestigious." During my college years, my visits home decreased. David was constantly called and visited. I only saw my family during holidays. In my 3rd year, I started working part-time at a software company called TechFlow Solutions. I was both studying and working. When I started earning money, my self-confidence increased. When David graduated, big ceremonies were organized. Relatives had gathered. Gifts were given. When I graduated, only "well done" was said. When I entered working life, my father constantly compared me to David. "David became an engineer, earns a good salary. You do your best too," he would say. David had indeed started working at a good company called Green Tech Industries, earning a regular salary. I was working at a small software firm called Digital Dreams, but I had big dreams. After working at that company for 2 years, I decided to start my own business. I opened a small software company with a few friends, Innovate Tech Solutions. When I told my family about this decision, the reactions were as expected. "Have you gone crazy, Mike?" my father had said. "You have a good job, what are you going to do by leaving it?" "I'm opening my own company, Dad." "Company? You? What do you know about business, trade? Get a regular salary like David, be comfortable." My mother was also worried. "Son, don't take risks. You see how well David is living. You also go the safe way like him." But I was determined. We established the company when I was 23. The first years were really difficult. I had almost no money, lived in a small apartment. The situation was even more embarrassing at family gatherings. When asked, "How is Mike?" my father would answer like this: "Well, he's still dealing with that business startup dream. I wish he was smart like David." When asked, "How is David?" his chest would swell. "Perfect. He got promoted at Green Tech. His salary increased. He also has marriage plans." When I was 25, David actually got married. A big wedding was held, everyone had come. I was going through the most difficult period of the company at that time. At the wedding, my uncle came to me. "Mike, what are you doing now?" "I have my own company, Uncle." "Oh, how's it going?" "We're growing slowly." "Good, but look at David. How beautifully he's set up his life. Are you thinking about getting married too?" "I'm focusing on my work for now." Of course. First work, then private life. But David is luckier, both his work and private life are in place. These comparisons tired me a lot. I started to stop seeing my family. When I was 26, things started to change. Our company got an important project and our income increased. But I didn't tell my family this. When I was 27, the company really started to grow. 15 people were working now. We were getting good projects, earning good money. When I was 28, we sold our company to a bigger firm. I established a new company, Next Gen Innovations. This time I was thinking much bigger. David's career was also good, but he was earning a standard engineer's salary. I had now reached the point where I was earning his monthly salary per day. When I was 29, my second company also achieved great success. We were working with America's biggest companies, taking international projects. During this process, my meetings with my family had decreased a lot. They only called on special occasions, and I would talk briefly. "How are you, son?" When they asked, I would just say, "I'm fine." "How's work?" "Going well. David's work is very good. He's working on a big project now." "Great." I was speaking this short and cold, because they were still comparing me to David. Before turning 30, my company had achieved million-dollar revenues. 50 people were working. We had offices in 3 countries. I was now a millionaire, but nobody knew. Last month was my father's 60th birthday. A big family gathering had been organized. Everyone would come. "You come too, Mike," my mother had said. "It's your father's special day." I went. Relatives I hadn't seen for 2 years were there. David had also come, with his wife. During dinner, the same conversation started again. "David is very successful at work," my mother was saying to the guests. "He works on big projects, his salary is very good too." "What does Mike do?" my aunt asked. "He works too," my father said indifferently. "He deals with computer stuff." "Computer stuff? So he's not an engineer like David?" "No. David is our real pride. Unfortunately, we couldn't see that success in Mike." These words were the last straw. The belittling I had listened to silently for 30 years was enough. I stood up and spoke in a calm voice. "Dad, Mom, relatives, I want to tell you something." Everyone turned to me. "First, I want to thank you, because never seeing me as sufficient motivated me even more." My father was surprised. "What do you mean, Mike?" I mean this, Dad. I now employ 50 people in my own company. We work with America's biggest companies. Last year, our company revenue exceeded $10 million. Everyone at the table froze. What? My mother said in surprise. Yes. Also, we have offices in England and Canada. We're expanding to Germany next year. My Uncle Robert was staring at me with his mouth open. 3 months ago, I sold 30% of my company for $15 million. My current net worth is around $25 million. David's spoon fell from his hand. So I earn David's monthly salary per day. But I haven't told you this for 10 years because I knew you wouldn't listen to me. My father couldn't speak. My mother couldn't close her mouth. But most importantly, I continued, last month I was included in Forbes magazine's Successful Entrepreneurs Under 30 list. There were only 5 people from America on the list. My aunt. It can't be. You really? Yes. Also, the new project we're currently working on will enable us to open an office in Silicon Valley next year. The room was in silence. So why didn't you ever tell us? My father asked in a trembling voice. Because, Dad, for 30 years you saw me as unsuccessful. You constantly compared me to David. You never cared about my achievements. My mother with teary eyes. Son, Mom, when I came first in the state in 5th grade, you said, you can't make a living with these. You never valued my theater achievements. You didn't celebrate when I graduated from college. David was listening silently. When I decided to start a company, you said, you've gone crazy. And for 10 years you've been saying, I wish he was smart like David. My father bowed his head. When I left here at 20, I said, you'll see. Well, you've seen. At that moment my father started crying. I had never seen my father like this in my life. Mike, he said sobbing. I made a big mistake. I'm so sorry. Dad. No, listen to me. I was very unfair to you. You are really very successful and I couldn't see it. My mother was also crying. Son, we were very bad parents. We always compared you to David. We're so sorry. At that moment my father got up and hugged me. Son, I'm very proud of you. I'm so sorry. I was a stupid father. My mother also came and hugged both of us. Mike, please forgive us. We couldn't appreciate your value. That night everything changed. But the real surprise came later. After the relatives left, my father wanted to talk to me privately. Mike, I need to tell you something. The real reason I treated you badly. What is it, Dad? When I was your age, I also had big dreams. I wanted to be a painter. But my father had also called it nonsense. I was shocked. I had to give up my dreams. I became a civil servant, chose the safe path. But I was never happy. Dad. When you loved art and creativity, my own dreams came alive in me. But I didn't want you to experience the same pain. That's why I tried to direct you to the safe path. But you chose the wrong way, Dad. I know, son. You did what I couldn't do. You followed your dreams and succeeded. I couldn't be as brave as you. That night my father and I talked for a long time. My mother also joined the conversation. 30 years of misunderstandings were resolved. David also apologized. Brother, I didn't know you were so successful. I'm ashamed that they always put me forward. David, you're not guilty. You were just doing the right things at the right time. A week later my father came to visit me at my workplace. He saw the office, employees, projects. Son, he said with tears in his eyes, you have really achieved great success. What a stupid father I was. Dad, these things are in the past. No, they're not. I didn't see your value for 30 years. Now I'm telling all relatives and friends about my son's achievements. Today our family relationships are very good. My father now asks questions about my work, asks for advice. My mother also constantly praises me. Last month, David's job became difficult. There was a crisis at Green Tech. I offered him a job at my new company. "Brother, you are really very big," he had said. "If I were in your place, I would be offended with all of you." David, this is family. Everything is in the past. This story taught me this. Sometimes if people treat you badly, there are their own fears and experiences behind it. My father was actually hurting me while trying to protect me. But most importantly, the best way to show that others' prejudices about you are wrong is to be successful. Now my father proudly tells everyone, "My son is a millionaire." My mother also says, "There's no one who doesn't know Mike now." And every time I say with a smile, "Has it been seen, Dad?" he also laughs embarrassedly. "It has been seen, son, it has been seen."